From the very first moment Esther met David, she felt a strange pull toward him. It wasn't the kind of attraction that bursts in with fireworks. It was quieter, softer, like the way the morning sun creeps into a room without asking for permission. They met at a friend's small Bible study one Friday evening. David was the kind of man who knew how to hold a room without trying. His voice was steady when he spoke, his smile patient, and his words laced with the kind of charm that made you lean in just a little closer. Esther wasn't looking for anyone, at least, that's what she kept telling herself. She had just come out of a relationship that left her bruised, not on her skin, but in her heart. Her last experience taught her to build walls, to guard herself from sweet words that carried no weight. But David was different. Or so she thought. It started with simple conversations after Bible study. A quick comment here, a shared laugh there. David made her feel seen in a way she hadn't felt in a long time. He asked questions that went deeper than, "How was your day?" He wanted to know her dreams, her fears, her relationship with God, and slowly she started letting those walls down. One evening, as they walked out of the church hall under the dim streetlights, David stopped and looked at her. His eyes held something steady, something that made her heartbeat stumble. "Esther," he began, "I just want you to know. I'm serious about you. I'm not here to play games. You're the kind of woman I've been praying for, and I believe that if we walk this journey together, God has a beautiful plan for us." Those words were like honey to a soul that had been wandering in the desert. A man who spoke of prayer, of a future, of God's plan. It felt like an answered prayer. Esther felt peace in that moment, the kind of peace that whispers, "Maybe this time, it's safe to trust." Weeks turned into months. Their friendship blossomed into a relationship. They prayed together, shared Bible verses in the morning, and dreamed about their future late into the night. David promised her things that made her heart light up, how he would honor her, how they would serve God together, how he would always be by her side. But there was one promise that stood out above the rest. One evening, they were sitting in his car after attending a wedding. The air was warm, the windows slightly open to let in the night breeze. Esther had been thinking about the vows they had just heard at the ceremony. Without realizing, she sighed. "What's on your mind?" David asked, turning toward her. She hesitated before speaking. "I guess I think about marriage, about building a home that honors God. I know we've only been together for a while, but..." Before she could finish, David reached for her hand. "Listen to me," he said firmly, but with a smile. "I promise you, Esther, you are the woman I will marry. You don't have to worry. It might not be tomorrow, but it will happen. I'm just getting some things in place first." That promise settled into her heart like a seed. It was enough for her. She didn't need a ring right away, she just needed to know his intentions were real. And with that, she gave herself permission to trust completely. But as the months passed, Esther began to notice little cracks in the picture-perfect promise. David became less consistent. Their Bible studies turned into quick, "I'll call you later" messages. The deep conversations faded into surface-level chats. And whenever she brought up the future, he would smile, change the subject, or say, "Let's just enjoy where we are now." At first, she told herself he was just busy. After all, he had mentioned he was working on getting things in place. She wanted to believe him. She prayed for patience, telling herself that love waits. But deep down, something didn't sit right. One evening, after he canceled another date with a vague, "I'm tied up," Esther decided to stop by his place with some homemade food. She thought maybe he was stressed, and a simple act of kindness would remind him she cared. When she arrived, he was home, but not alone. Through the partially open door, she saw him sitting on the couch with another woman. They weren't doing anything obvious, but their closeness, the way they were laughing, and the fact that he never mentioned she would be there, it all made her heart drop. She stepped back, not wanting to create a scene. She drove home in silence, her thoughts tangled in confusion, hurt, and denial. When she confronted him the next day, David brushed it off. "She's just a friend," he said. "You know I promised to marry you." Don't let little things make you doubt that. And that was the hook that kept her tied, the promise. Even when things didn't feel right, she clung to his words. She told herself, if he promised, then maybe I'm overthinking. But here's the truth I want you to hear clearly. A promise without consistent action is just a delay dressed as hope. Esther spent almost 3 years holding on to that promise. She turned down other opportunities for love. She prayed, fasted, and even defended him to friends who raised concerns. She told herself that good things take time, but slowly she realized time wasn't bringing them closer to marriage. It was only making her more invested in something that wasn't real. The breaking point came when she discovered, through a mutual friend, that David had been in another relationship for over a year. The woman didn't know about Esther, and Esther didn't know about her. When she confronted him this time, his response was cold. Things changed, Esther. I thought I wanted to marry you, but I'm not sure anymore. And just like that, the promise that had kept her waiting dissolved into thin air. The pain was deep, not just because she lost him, but because she lost years believing in something he never intended to fulfill. But in that heartbreak came clarity. God never told her to build her hope on a man's promise. He told her to build it on his word. Esther healed slowly. She learned that true love is not proven by how sweet the promise sounds, but by the actions that consistently match the words. And she vowed never to let her hope rest on a human commitment without seeing the fruits of it. So if you're listening right now and you're holding on to someone's promise that keeps getting delayed, I want you to remember this. A real promise doesn't make you wait in confusion. It makes you wait with clarity and mutual commitment. Don't be afraid to walk away from empty words. You are worth a love that follows through. If this story spoke to you, let it be a gentle reminder that love should never hold you hostage to uncertainty. God's plan for you is peace, not confusion. If you've ever been in Esther's shoes, share your thoughts in the comments. Like this video, subscribe for more stories that open your eyes, and remember, you deserve a love that shows up, not just speaks up.